Welcome, Mr. Secretary. Steve. For generations, American democracy has inspired millions around the world and in Israel. American democracy has always inspired me. Lawlessness and violence are the opposite of the values we know Americans and Israelis cherish. The rampage at the Capitol yesterday was a disgraceful act, and it must be vigorously condemned. I have no doubt that American democracy will prevail. It always has. Secretary Mnuchin, welcome back to Jerusalem with your excellent team. You were here last in October when you accompanied the UAE's Minister of State for Financial Affairs on what was truly a historic occasion, the first ever official visit to Israel by a senior Emirati official. I know this time you come to us following a successful visit in Khartoum, during which Sudan formally joined the Abraham Accords. I want to thank President Trump and all of you in the administration for all you have done and are doing for peace. You've made a real difference, achieving one breakthrough after another, bringing the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan into the circle of peace. And I have no doubt that more Arab and Muslim countries will follow. I also want to commend the maximum pressure campaign on Iran. Under your leadership, the U.S. Treasury has played a crucial role in applying and enforcing sanctions on the Iranian regime, and I want to thank you for your own personal involvement in this tremendously important campaign. It must be continued. It must be continued to prevent Iran from continuing its campaign of aggression and terror throughout the region, and to prevent Iran from rushing to a nuclear arsenal. And if we just go back to the JCPOA, what will happen, and may already be happening, is that many other countries in the Middle East will rush to arm themselves with nuclear weapons. That is a nightmare, and that is folly. It should not happen. Mr. Secretary, I want to say that we have had the opportunity to speak. We see eye to eye on this and so many other things, and I look forward to having one more discussion with you before you go back to America, and I want to thank you again for your extraordinary friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It is great to be back in Israel and great to be with you. Let me first by saying, as you said, the violence that occurred last night at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. was completely unacceptable. These actions are unacceptable and must stop. Our democratic institutions have been strong for a very long period of time. Our democracy will prevail, and our institutions will remain strong. Now is the time for our nation to come together as one and to respect the democratic process in the United States. Now, let me say, Mr. Prime Minister, I had the opportunity to visit Egypt and Sudan prior to coming here. I was quite honored to sign in Sudan the principles for the Abraham Accords. It has really been my great honor to work with you and on the Abraham Accords, as well as the strategic issues with Iran that confront not just Israel, but all its Arab neighbors. I will be leaving here tonight and going on to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Kuwait to finish our work with them. We will be discussing both the activities of the Abraham Accords, economic issues, and the strategic issues as it relates with Iran. There is no question that our campaign working with you on Iran has saved many, many lives, has prevented terrorist activities, and has cut off money that would be used for development and issues in the region. It is imperative that any future negotiations with Iran on both nuclear as well as ballistic missiles need to be done in conjunction and in consultation with Israel and its Arab neighbors. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, and Iran must stop its terrorist activities that threaten both Israel and its Arab neighbors. So it is a great honor to be here. I look forward to continuing our work. I look forward to getting back to Washington, D.C. with our continued work on the transition. And then I look forward to coming back here as a private citizen a lot and being with you. Thank you very much.
You'll be always welcome. Thank you. You'll be welcome then as you are welcome now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.